Right now at 6, impacts of a federal shift, how the Trump administration is affecting the La Crosse IRS office.
And UWL welcomes Officer Bear, the new emotional support puppy, to its police department.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski.
La Crosse is being hit by the Trump administration's DOJ department.
The federal IRS office here is losing its lease. According to DOJ's website, it's the taxpayer assistance space at 425 State Street on the second floor of the post office building. The roughly 2,000 square foot space is leased at about $36,000 a year. That would be a total savings of $180,000 roughly over a 5-year continuation of the lease. A new Wisconsin bill could cover gaps in those federal funding freezes. 3 Democratic lawmakers are behind it. A special session would happen if money that's already approved is stalled. The state would cover the funding gap through a rainy fund. No word on how long the fund could cover things, and the bill still needs Republican support. Dane County Airport leaders are pushing for international status. Officials say the move would allow direct flights to Mexico and Canada. This comes after nearly 2.3 million passengers traveled through the airport last year, its second highest count ever. The upgrade requires federal approval and a new customs facility. Tourism officials believe the change would bring more visitors and business to Madison.
A wild weather day across Wisconsin. In Winona County, a jackknifed semi caused major delays for westbound drivers on I-90 near Ridgeway. MnDOT cameras showing traffic backed up between exit 266 at Winona County Road 12 and exit 257. At one point, a detour was set up.
In La Crosse, snowplows were out earlier today as heavy snow fell and strong winds whipped it around. We had caught up with some people outside to see how they were coping.
Typical Wisconsin weather. It's like a snowstorm in March.
Well, the wintry weather mix is over. Now is it time for a reprieve? Let's send it over to Greg for the answers.
It is time for a reprieve now. We're going to have dry conditions. In fact, most of the next week for the next 7 days looks fairly dry, but we did have quite a bit of snow and rain, and we definitely could use the moisture given how dry we were. So that's the good news. But this evening, really, we're going to see the winds die down. But here's your snow totals. It was just a little bit further north and west. You see Menominee got 7 inches, and of course, you go towards the Twin Cities, they had a foot. So that band was a little bit, they changed over earlier in the evening. It helps. But then you go over to Eau Claire, 2 inches. So a tight gradient up there where snow occurred or where they had rain, and it came down to 2 or 3 inches. Now some of these totals likely are a little low given the slushy nature of it. That's a bigger picture of the snow. Notice the Twin Cities had probably their biggest they've had. Most of the precipitation is done with. The winds will continue to decrease this evening. That's the good news. We're not expecting to see much in the way of winds as you wake up. That's a positive. Keep an eye on any standing water. It's likely to refreeze given the temperatures will be pretty chilly tonight. We're going back into the teens. Tomorrow and beyond, we got more seasonal conditions. We'll break down what it looks like for Friday and the weekend and what it looks like going to next week. And yes, we do have some 60s potentially in the forecast too.
Potentially in the forecast.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like the sound of it. Yeah. Thanks, Greg. Well, a new initiative at Winona State University faces an uncertain future after a funding cut.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergut explains live in the newsroom. Allison.
Ken and Emily, last August, the Department of Defense awarded WSU a $1.1 million grant to form a civic center. But at the end of February, the DoD revoked that grant. The center is intended to promote civic engagement in the community. This fall, the center held a series of events and launched an internship program for students. The Civic Center was planning their spring agenda, but now that future is in jeopardy. On Friday, February 28th, the Department of Defense sent Winona State a termination notice for the grant. WSU says the letter indicates a federal award may be terminated if the award, quote, no longer effectuates the program goals or agency priorities.
We are disappointed, and we plan to assess the progress and investments made to date in the Civic Center project and its stated goals, and examine how we might be able to continue to lead with this work and in partnership with our students and others in the surrounding community.
As the university decides what's next, 2 professors who serve as the center's co-directors are speaking out.
We are disappointed, and we plan to assess the progress and investments made to date in the Civic Center project and its stated goals, and examine how we might be able to continue to lead with this work and in partnership with our students and others in the surrounding community.
We had a little bit of a video mix-up there, but the two professors saying while they are disappointed about what happened, overall this is not surprising given the current administration's goals of reducing funding. They are hopeful that despite the cuts, they will be able to continue the work of the Civic Center. A WSU student who interned with the center posted on Facebook that he's hoping to crowdfund to keep the center running. Ken and Emily?
All right, thank you, Allison.
Oak Creek police are asking for the public's help in finding a missing 13-year-old girl. Lillian Asala was last seen Saturday in Oak Creek. She is described as 5'5", about 140 pounds, with blonde hair and braces. Police say she left home on foot after telling her family she needed fresh air. Her cell phone was last tracked to Abendschein Park on Saturday, but it was found there Sunday with no sign of her. If you have any information, contact Oak Creek Police at 414-762-8200.
And if you're planning to head to Lower Hickson Forest, be aware that part of Quarry Road is now closed. Quarry Road from Millston Court to the Hickson Forest main trailhead is closed today. The road shuts down annually during the freeze-thaw cycle due to its vulnerability to damage. City officials are also reminding trail users to be mindful of soft, muddy conditions. If trails are too wet, it's best to turn back. It will reopen once it's safe for vehicles. Well, millions of Catholics here and around the world are taking part in Ash Wednesday services. Worshippers attended Mass today at St. Joseph the Workman Cathedral. Bishop William Callahan led the service. Ash Wednesday also marks the official start of Lent.
Pearl Street Books is launching what they are calling Mask Mondays. Every Monday at the store will be a mask-only shopping zone, reducing the risk of spreading germs and giving people who are immunocompromised the opportunity to fully participate in public life. If you don't have a mask, they will have free masks available.
I really hadn't thought about it, and the more I researched it and I talked with a doctor friend, and he said, oh, absolutely, there are so many immunocompromised people in La Crosse community, and not only they can't go out, but their family members can't go out and about in public. And so then it just made sense to try to do it once a week.
The store hopes this will help encourage the community to be a more inclusive place.
Well, UWL is welcoming a new furry friend to its police department. Meet Officer Bear, a double doodle puppy who will serve as an emotional support canine with the UWL Police Department. Officer Bear will help reduce stress and offer comfort to students.
Interactions with campus have clearly already been positive. He's been asked for everywhere, from maintenance to the chancellor of the university. Everyone wants to see him. Everybody is waiting for their turn to meet him, so he's really been great.
When's my turn? I want to meet him. Officer Bear will be in training for a year before becoming a full-time emotional support dog.
Coming up, tensions rise as President Trump takes action on new tariffs.
How they could impact your wallet after this.
Protect yourself from the harsh sun with Sonesta retractable awnings and solar screens from Asher Laston Exteriors. Use promo code 15 and receive up to 20% off your entire project. Connect with the Asher team today and request a free, no-obligation consultation at goasher.com.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up, by the fire, or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
When she was a lawyer, Susan Crawford defended Planned Parenthood.
And she personally trusts women to decide whether to have an abortion.
Not Brad Schimmel.
He wants to take us back to the 1849 law
that bans abortion for rape and the health of the mother.
So Susan Crawford is the common sense judge who will protect our rights.
And Brad Schimmel is the extremist who will take them away.
That's why we need
Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
Protect yourself from the harsh sun with Sonesta retractable awnings and solar screens from Asher Laston Exteriors. Use promo code 15 and receive up to 20% off your entire project. Connect with the Asher team today and request a free, no-obligation consultation at goasher.com.
In his address to Congress last night, President Donald Trump spent several minutes doubling down on his tariff agenda, which has sent stocks sinking, businesses scrambling, and consumer confidence plunging.
Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook is at the White House as world leaders react to Trump's latest moves.
President Donald Trump spoke on the phone with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for about an hour this morning, following an extraordinary back and forth between the two leaders over a brewing trade war. Trump said that the call ended in a, quote, somewhat friendly manner. This call comes the day after Trump enacted a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico and doubled a tariff on Chinese goods to 20%. Trump admitted that his moves would lead to a, quote, adjustment period, but seemed to double down on his tariff agenda during his joint address to Congress.
There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much.
Members of Congress, even some in his own party, have been calling on Trump to backtrack. Democratic Senator Chris Coons warns that this could lead to a shock to the pocketbooks of millions of Americans.
Whether it's prices at the pump, the price of vehicles, the price of housing or groceries, these big tariffs and the retaliatory tariffs we will get from Mexico and Canada will create chaos in the marketplace and further raise prices.
This is just Trump's latest move on tariffs. The 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports is scheduled to go into effect on March 12th. And the reciprocal tariffs that could match other countries' tariffs dollar for dollar are set to start on April 2nd. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
A powerful March storm slamming the Midwest with snow, high winds, and some blizzard conditions.
Where it's hitting the hardest, up next.
And we're pretty much done with that system here. We got dry conditions, it looks like, mainly for the next week. We'll break down what the temps look like this weekend. And yeah, we got some 60s in the forecast too. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather update after the break.
At Maxwell White, we want you to love your water. Clean and clear water free from bad taste and odors. The water professionals at Maxwell White will test your water and evaluate any existing equipment, providing the best solutions for you and your family. Call Maxwell White today. Water conditioning done right.
Searching for gold at the end of the rainbow? Well, you can find it here at the King Furniture St. Patrick's Day sale. Get Shamrock with savings up to 60% off, plus 0% free financing, recliners, sofas, sectionals, and more. It's all here and it's all in stock and ready to be delivered. Plus, shop special savings in our incredible Lazy Boy Showcase. Let the shenanigans begin at the King Furniture St. Patrick's Day sale. Don't miss it.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
A 7-year-old girl attends a birthday party at a local swimming pool. She's sexually assaulted by a repeat child molester. The monster faces 100 years in prison, but Judge Susan Crawford let him off with just 4. That was Crawford's choice. Now he's back on the street, walking distance from a school. And Judge Crawford, she wants a promotion. Susan Crawford, dangerous decisions, wrong for Wisconsin.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Right now, get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $25 per line when you switch.
Maxwell White wants you to love your water. Preventative maintenance helps to keep the love going. Maxwell White can get your equipment running right so it can last longer and save you money. Call Maxwell White today. Water conditioning done right.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
A powerful March storm has been making its way across the Midwest, impacting several states with snow, high winds, and some power outages.
The storm, which has already caused deadly thunderstorms and wildfires in the south, hit the Midwest overnight. Parts of Iowa, Minnesota, and Michigan saw near whiteout conditions with wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour.
It brought those powerful winds and snow to the Midwest. I mean, we were talking earlier about the La Crosse area and even some of our Minnesota counties, the Jackknife Semi on I-90. The conditions were a little rough, especially for our Minnesota parts of our viewing area, but things have kind of calmed down so far in the La Crosse area, and we might have a little bit of a reprieve that potentially lasts a full week or so.
A full week, everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. It doesn't look like we might have a little bit of precipitation here or there, but overall we're not expecting any significant amount. Unlikely till next weekend. There is an opportunity that we could see another significant storm come our way if it pans out too. But overall, here's this current snowpack, and out west they've actually had a lot of snow too. And typically the snowpack out west starts to peak at the end of March into early April before it starts melting. So it gets quite active this time of year too. But look at the snowfall over across our area, all the way down to Missouri, even eastern Kansas. Pretty good amounts down there too. It's going to melt fairly quickly, but overall not too bad of a condition. You get to see really for about just south of Twin Cities all the way up to about almost the UP. That's kind of where that line was that had that 7 to almost 12 inch. So it just was just a little bit further north and west of the area, and that's where they turned to snow quicker than we turned. We had rain until about early this morning. But the good news with the winds behind the system, they are decreasing tonight. Won't be a problem. The only concern for the morning commute Thursday could be standing water could refreeze overnight, given that we've had a lot of moisture, and temperatures are going to go well below freezing. So side roads, parking lots, a lot of those areas that don't get a lot of traffic, probably could see some of those slick spots. Otherwise, we do have a little bit of snow showers coming in Friday morning as the system heads well south of us. This could clip areas like Crawford County, points out to the west into Iowa with a little bit of snow showers late Thursday or early Friday. Not a huge system, but something to keep in mind of. It may be during the morning commute for those areas with a little bit of light snow. But for tomorrow's temperatures, getting close to average. We have more sun out on the way, more clouds probably in the afternoon, light winds, but all in all, not a bad Thursday for early March given these temperatures too, and the melting will continue with all the snow. Friday, we'll have a little bit of a turn of the wind because of that system heading south, turns those winds a little bit more northeast, maybe a degree or two colder, but all in all, not too much of a difference. More clouds in the morning with that system passing to our south, more sun in the afternoon, and of course, as you go further north, not too much, but all in all, not too bad of a Friday either. Saturday looks even better. We should get mid-40s. We have a little bit of another system coming through the area that provides a cloud cover. We'll keep the temperatures in the mid-40s. Further south you go, you may get closer to the upper 40s. That's just a start, because if you go into Sunday, all this warm air out to the west, this ridge with the jet going well to the north, is going to be overplay for Monday and Tuesday, and that means potentially we could see 60s. Just depends on how the things play out. Mentioning that snow chance there for areas of Crawford County and those, here's that little bit of activity that comes across the area Friday morning. Just a little bit of light rain turned to light snow, a few hours, barely touching the region, but if you have travel down in that general area Friday morning, they could see more of that impact. And then maybe a little bit of a shower come through with another weak little system Saturday, but that chance is fairly light. But that'll keep cloud cover more Saturday. I think we'll see more sun as we go into Sunday. Sunday, as you turn the clocks forward, we could have a chance to get up to 50 for some of the areas, and it gets even warmer than Monday and Tuesday, and that might be conservative with the temperatures on Monday, Tuesday. We might get even warmer than that if things pan out. And mentioning the next really good chance of precipitation, and maybe could be a significant system we'll have to keep an eye on, is not till the weekend, next weekend before St. Patrick's Day, that we'll have to keep an eye on. Otherwise, pretty quiet what we've had.
All right.
We like quiet right now.
Yes. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Badgers looking for a bounce-back performance against a familiar foe. Plus, the News 8 Play of the Week nominees are back, which includes some names being etched into the history books. Jacob is next.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
When you have a drain backup, you need help fast. From slow drains to clogged mains, we solve it all. Maxwell White has been solving sewer, septic, and drain issues in the La Crosse Coulee region for more than 30 years. Fast, reliable, and professional. Call or book online today.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet Spring Workwear event is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality workwear styles at unbeatable prices. New at Blaine's, men's brunch workwear apparel 25% off. Save 30% on men's work and sport sweatshirts. These men's Wolverine Western boots, $59.99 while supplies last. Plus, earn $30 in Carhartt bucks when you spend $125 on Carhartt gear. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Radon is a radioactive gas you can't see or smell, but it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. It can seep up from the ground and into your home, and as many as 1 in 3 homes can have dangerous levels, especially in basements, where many of us have bedrooms and playrooms. Call American Water Works for an expert radon solution. We'll get radon out to help protect your family and your home's value. Don't wait. Breathe healthier today. Call the radon experts at American Water Works.
Tax refund season is here, and Wesco and Sparta is making it more fun than ever. Dreaming of a brand new sectional or that comfy bed you've been eyeing? Now's the time to treat yourself. Save 20% all month long on furniture and bedding, just in time to make your home the talk of the group chat. Have fun with your tax refund and make your space shine with Wesco and Sparta. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. Tell them Peyton sent you.
Slow or clogged sink, toilet, or main drain? Maxwell White can help. Ask about our $99 mainline drain opening special. Includes a free camera inspection. Address the root problem now to avoid costly repairs or future damage. Call or book online today.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
We are approaching conference tournament time in men's college hoops beginning next week, and then Selection Sunday just 11 days away. A couple teams in state looking for road victories tonight. Final away game for both squads. Marquette is taking on UConn, who's defeated the Golden Eagles the last 4 meetings. Shaka Smart's team can get as high as a 2 seed in the Big East tournament and as low as a 5. That one beginning at 7:30 on FS1. Meanwhile, Wisconsin looking to continue their dominance in the barn. Badgers tied for 4th in the Big Ten standings entering the night. Tip set for 7:30 on the Big Ten Network. We are ending the end of our Play of the Week segment for winter sports. Some more great plays to showcase this week, though. Getting things started at number 1, Holman up big on Eau Claire North late, and Jaron Rink puts an exclamation point on the game with a high-flying, two-handed stuff. The Vikes went on to win this one at 90-72. At number 2, this one could be given to the entire team, but great shot from Macy Stewart of Alma Pepin in their upset victory over the top-seeded Indy Gill Indies on the road last week. Eagles won this one by 42. Coming in at number 3, there's Clutch, and then there's posting a 9.075 on the beam to lift your team to the state tournament by 0.05 of a point. That's what Kennedy Garbers of the West Salem Co-op did last Saturday. Panthers will be in action Friday at the state tournament in Wisconsin Rapids. To number 4 we go, and it was the 4th time being the charm for Prairie du Chine's Blake Thierry at the Wisconsin State Wrestling Tournament as he won a 12-0 decision to capture a state title in Division II at 215. Strike a pose, Blake. You love to see it from the fantastic athlete. And rounding out the 5, it's Riley Hanrahan of Black River Falls, also notching a state title last weekend. She defeated the top seed in a rout. 16-0 tech fall for Hanrahan. She finished the season unbeaten, and she's one of the best girls on the mat in the country at 138. So those are the choices. Good variety in the hardwood, mat, and beam this week. To cast your vote, head to news8000.com. Under the sports tab, click on Play of the Week and pick your favorite. Voting opening shortly after the show and closing Friday at 5. So obviously some really good performances for history-wise. I like that first dunk from Jaron Rink, though, a lot.
He got up there.
When you slow that down, he's climbing the ladder. So
Absolutely.
What are we thinking, though?
That's a heck of a vertical leap. It's between the 2 wrestling champs as well. It's hard to
women
go.
West
But a 16-0 tech fall, that's about as dominant as you can be in a wrestling match.
Sometimes it's hard to even get points, period, in those against the top competitors. So just being able to see her do it like that is just impressive stuff. So
Absolutely.
get to voting, get to sharing, and we'll see who's the winner again. We only got a couple weeks left of this.
Yeah, right. A good swan song for some of those winter sports.
You bet.
All
Swan
right,
song.
thanks.
Like it.
Thanks,
Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Meeting you locally where you are online. Stay updated while you scroll. Follow us on Instagram at WKBT News 8.
At US Cellular, you don't have to choose between a great deal on the phone you want and the phone plan that's right for you.
You can get both. 4 free phones of your choice and 4 lines for just $90.
Wow, kids, that's like us not having to choose between tickets to wrestling or that puppet musical.
We want a great phone and a great plan too, don't we, little guy?
Get both. 4 free phones of your choice plus 4 lines for $90. No trade-in needed. US Cellular, built for us.
When she was a lawyer, Susan Crawford defended Planned Parenthood.
And she personally trusts women to decide whether to have an abortion.
Not Brad Schimmel.
He wants to take us back to the 1849 law
that bans abortion for rape and the health of the mother.
So Susan Crawford is the common sense judge who will protect our rights. And Brad Schimmel is the extremist who will take them away.
That's why we need
Susan Crawford. Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
I'm Steve from Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. If you feel colder drafts here, you have gaps, worn seals, or even cracks here, you need a trusted window company to replace the window and help you save money on your energy bill. At Clear Choice, we know that your home is your biggest investment, and in a year like this, every dollar needs to be spent wisely. Our team will complete our Weather Guardian 15-step installation process on every job to ensure your home and family are safe before we leave. Save $100 off each window and door, plus an additional $500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more.
All right, much quieter night ahead. We'll have decreasing cloud cover, decreasing winds. Temperatures will go below freezing, if I can talk there. We could have some slick spots in the morning given standing water that definitely could. Side roads, parking lots, those sort of nature things. Otherwise, as we go into tomorrow, we're looking at basically conditions looking fairly nice, fairly seasonable. We do have a slight chance for some snow if you're going heading south of La Crosse, maybe Friday morning. Otherwise, mainly a dry forecast until all of next week with potentially some 60s, maybe Monday and Tuesday. And the weekend overall, shaping up to be not too bad, too, for early March.
Yeah, just having to spring forward on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a whole other subject there.
Very true.
All right, thank you for joining us tonight at 6.
And we'll see you tonight at 10.